How's everybody doing today? Good? All right. We got a crew coming here. So we got a big crew here behind us here in Miami today, and the size and the variety of our interagency partners, our private retail partners, is indicative of our commitment to combating retail theft. This morning, it's good to be here. I'm joined by your great Sheriff Rosie here from Miami-Dade County. We've got Captain David Moss with us from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Scott Shalley, President and CEO of the Florida Retail Federation. We've got Michelle Jarose from the Palm Bay Police Department. Chris Olowin from my statewide prosecution team, who was lead on the case we're going to talk about today. We've joining us in person, we have Ashley Thorpe from CVS, Mike Ramiller from Walgreens. From Macy's, we have Marcelo Bravo and Mike Saponara. And from Burlington, we have David Rosero. So again, a great example of law enforcement, prosecution teams, interagency cooperation, and retail partners working together to protect our businesses, ultimately protect consumers, and put bad guys away. So today we're dealing with a case. This was an organized organized retail theft ring. I don't think there's any drugs, at least not yet that we know about, but the two tend to go together. We've had a lot of drug cases. Organized retail theft ring, 6 or 7 individuals who've been arrested at this time, stolen goods, upwards close to $200,000 of products and cash. Here they were stealing from retail stores, makeup, jewelry, cosmetics, beauty bags, lots of goods that then would go to a third party to be resold as stolen goods for profit. Last year, we relaunched our retail theft initiative to put the state and criminals out there on notice that we do take this seriously. We saw too many cases of judges not taking these cases seriously, prosecutors not taking these cases seriously, and ultimately, disrespecting law enforcement who go out, stick their necks out, put their lives on the line to face dangerous criminals. If they're going to do that, we have to have their backs and prosecute these cases. So, today it's the beauty bag bandits. Yesterday it was lawn care machinery from Home Depot, electronics. We recently had a guy that was stealing baseball cards through taco wrapping paper in the tens of thousands of dollars. Ingenuity that I wish would be used towards, law-abiding entrepreneurial purposes. If you're going to use ingenuity to do wrong and commit crimes, we will hold you accountable. Here in Florida, this is not California. This is not New York. We are not going to have plexiglass over our shaving goods at local pharmacies. We are going to be a law and order state that respects rule of law. And cases like those today get that job done. So I want to thank law enforcement, the sheriff and her team. We've got the best sheriffs in the entire country, the best police chiefs. Their team, they do incredible work every single day. It's an honor to support them. It's an honor to prosecute these cases. And I want to thank our statewide prosecutors and state attorneys' offices for putting in the long hours and, going to court, facing bad guys every single day and doing the Lord's work. So with that, I'll turn it over to Sheriff Rosie first.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Attorney General Uthmeier, for your leadership and your continued commitment to holding organized criminal enterprises accountable across our state. I want to also thank Captain David Moss from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Scott Shalley from the Florida Retail Federation, and Chris Olowin of the statewide prosecutors for your collaboration in this case. I want to thank all of our law enforcement partners, all of our statewide prosecutors, and our retail investigators, and everyone else who was involved. This investigation reflects what we can accomplish when we work together with a shared mission. I'm proud of the work that led to the dismantling of this large-scale, organized retail theft ring, a coordinated criminal enterprise that targeted businesses throughout Miami-Dade County, across Florida, and into multiple other states. Since November of 2024, our organized retail crime squad worked alongside regional partners and private sector investigators to identify a group responsible for hundreds of thefts and more than $900,000 worth of losses. These individuals traveled across state lines, stealing merchandise and turning criminal activity into profit. Through intelligence sharing and coordinated enforcement, 7 arrest warrants were secured on serious felony charges, including conspiracy to commit racketeering and organized retail theft. Several arrests have already been made here in Miami-Dade County. Stolen merchandise has been recovered, and additional arrests are forthcoming. This case is being prosecuted by the Attorney General statewide prosecutors, and we are grateful for that partnership. Organized retail theft is not a victimless crime. It drives up prices for families, it impacts employees, and harms our economy. Make no mistake, if you organize theft in our community, if you exploit businesses for profit, and if you think crossing county or state lines will shield you, it will not. We will identify you, build the case, and ensure that you are brought to justice. Thank you.
I think the point she made at the end about, the effort to work together over interstate and inter-circuit lines is important. A lot of these operations, they think if they move from circuit to circuit, county to county, they start selling goods here or there, that the jurisdictional barriers are going to get in the way and prevent us from holding them accountable. That's not happening here in Florida. We all have the same mission, as you can see behind us, the same goal. The sheriff said it very well. We work together to get the job done, and there's no county or circuit boundary that's going to get in the way of that. Next, we've got David Moss from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you. Good afternoon. First, I just want to thank the Attorney General's Office and the statewide prosecution for taking these crimes seriously, and the state of Florida as well. The biggest obstacle that we encounter as law enforcement is we have to play by the rules of jurisdictional boundaries, and the criminals don't. They are not limited by jurisdiction. In this case, they were in Michigan, they were in California. They don't have to think of these things. We do. And that's why it's so important that the collaboration between all our law enforcement partners, the state, and the Attorney General's Office work together. And this case, over a year's period of time, with a lot of investigation, is indicative of what we can accomplish when we work together. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
From the Retail Federation, Scott Shalley.
Thank you, General. Thank you all so much. Scott Shalley, President and CEO of the Florida Retail Federation. A couple months ago, the General reached out to me and asked me to join him at a similar event to announce a major bust in the Jacksonville area. Recently, I believe there was another event, press conference, and then here today. I will tell you, General, I will pack a bag and stay ready to show up anytime. We can't thank you enough when the General talks about a commitment to fighting organized retail crime. He fully has his foot on the gas. So I want to say thank you to the General, thank you to all of you in law enforcement, and thank you to the kind of what sometimes the unsung heroes is the loss prevention professionals who work for our stores. Our stores spend millions of dollars every year to fight this fight. And yes, it is a fight to protect product, but more importantly, it's a fight to protect Floridians and protect the associates in our stores. We want people to have a safe, happy shopping environment. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott. All right. Michelle Jarose, Palm Bay Police Department.
Good afternoon. I'm Michelle Jarose, Palm Bay Police Department. My involvement in this case started with an everyday call for service for a retail theft, and it has grown into what you see here today. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the hard work of Ashley Thorpe and Christopher Olowin, our statewide prosecutor, for taking on this case. And I just wanted this opportunity to say thank you to all of the people I see behind me, because without them, it wouldn't be what it is today. It took some hard work and some communication throughout all agencies for this to happen. So thank you guys.
In Florida, I think, as you know by now, we prosecute to the fullest. So the beauty bag bandits will be facing Chris Sullivan and his team in court, and we will again send a message. We take retail theft seriously. We will hold wrongdoers accountable. Chris?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank Attorney General Uthmeier and Statewide Prosecutor McVeigh for their continued support and their commitment to preventing and stopping organized retail crime in the state of Florida. I want to thank my colleague Monique Wilson, who is the co-counsel on this case, and I want to thank a number of law enforcement agencies and detectives specifically for their hard work and their dedication in this case. These include the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office and Detective Miguel Garcia, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and Detective John D'Angelo, the Palm Bay Police Department and Detective Michelle Jarose, the Martin County Sheriff's Office and Detective Bradley Markham, and then a number of other agencies as well, including the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Indian River County Sheriff's Office, and the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, and a number of others. I also want to thank the multiple retail theft investigators from the different corporations that assisted in this case, and many of whom are here today. This case is a great example of the success of law enforcement collaboration. And I just listed off a bunch of different agencies that are from all over the state. None of them are very geographically close to each other. But oftentimes individuals think that they can commit organized retail theft in different cities and different counties, as the Attorney General said, and that would limit their exposure to a simple misdemeanor, to a low-level theft here and there. However, because of the hard work and the collaboration by several law enforcement agencies in this case, our office was able to obtain arrest warrants for 7 individuals for serious felony charges, as the sheriff said. These charges arise from thefts they committed in almost a dozen counties, and additionally, law enforcement officers were able to uncover the fencing operation, the location where these stolen goods were going, and they recovered over $120,000 worth of stolen goods in that fencing location and over $50,000 in illegitimate cash. Recently, Attorney General Uthmeier announced the rollout of the Attorney General's Special Investigative Retail Theft Task Force, and this task force gives law enforcement even more tools to further this collaboration and to pursue organized retail crime suspects across jurisdictions throughout the state and break down those jurisdictional boundaries. This task force and continued collaboration between law enforcement agencies and the Office of Statewide Prosecution will allow for future success and will continue to prevent and stop organized retail crime in the state of Florida. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So to conclude, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this press conference on a cosmetic theft ring? We're doing it because it's not a victimless crime. These consumers are the ones that suffer. Consumers are the ones that pay for this. The businesses, they have to expend more money for security. They've got to raise prices to make up for their losses. And ultimately, it's you at home that suffers. So we're going to take this seriously. We're rolling out a lot of these cases, and I know there's a lot more in the hopper. People at home should be on notice. If you think you can go and steal 10, 20 grand here or there, through small, single items, we care. We're going to take it seriously, and you're going to do serious time. And I'd be remiss if I didn't conclude by highlighting how great Miami is today. Miami has become the center of the world in many respects. I know the traffic is a challenge, a byproduct of that. But you've got more wealth than ever moving into this city, population growth at exponential rates. Typically, those two things are associated with heightened crime. Not here. We're seeing record crime lows in Florida, even right here in Miami, because of the great sheriff, our law enforcement here. They do their job, and we at the state level, we support them. We give them the tools to be successful. We've got their backs, and then we go out and let them do their job, and they do it well. So it's not rocket science. It's not that complicated. It's certainly hard work. There's major sacrifices that go into it, and that's why we love law enforcement here, and we're not ashamed to say it. So with that, I think we got time for a few questions if there's any. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I have 2 questions. One is on topic and one is not. The one that is on topic is, I know that in the last year or two there's been sort of these enhanced penalties for these kinds of crimes, kind of opening the umbrella to what kind of falls under organized retail theft. Could you reiterate what those are and tell our viewers what the consequences are for engaging in this type of behavior. My second
Yeah,
has to
Chris,
do. We
come
can go
help
to
me
the
over here on
second.
this one. I want to get my expert here. Yeah, no, the legislature's taken this very seriously and have heightened penalties when you have more than one offense, especially when you're dealing with, heightened dollar figures. Chris, tell them the new law. I don't want to
Sure.
get it wrong
No,
and be on
absolutely.
record here in court.
Yeah, there's multiple different facets of the new retail theft law, but essentially, if you commit 3 or more retail thefts with 20 or more items stolen within a 120-day period, that is a second-degree felony in the state of Florida, punishable by up to a maximum of 15 years in the Department of Corrections. There's also enhancements. It makes it a first-degree felony if you have 2 prior convictions. It's a second-degree felony if you have 1 prior conviction. So there's a number of different ways that the statute has broadened to allow for that.
Point is, if you want to keep doing this, it's going to get real painful for you.
Mr. Uthmeier, my second question has to do with some reporting in the Florida Phoenix, which is saying that your office is reopening a criminal investigation into Raul Castro based on new details relating to the Brothers to the Rescue shoot-down in the 90s. Can you confirm whether that's actually happening, and if so, what new details have come about to lead to this reopening of an investigation?
Yeah, so the last week was the remembrance 30-year anniversary of this terrible tragedy where these Brothers to the Rescue planes were shot down by the Cuban government. I don't think that's in dispute. Several years ago, a file was opened at the state level investigating this for possible state crimes. That's my understanding. The Biden administration shut this down and for whatever reason didn't want it to go forward. When this came to my attention, we reactivated the file. So yes, that investigation will be ongoing. I will say we've got a great working relationship with the federal government now. So as they're leading and really teaching the world a lesson on diplomacy and national security here in the Western Hemisphere, we're going to support them. We're going to coordinate together, and where there are wrongs to Florida citizens, both under state and federal laws, they need to be held accountable. So I can't really say too much more at this point, but we are going to continue that investigation. I know a lot of members of the state legislature and other people here in Florida would like to see, some resolution and ideally accountability. Anybody?
Can someone speak to us in Spanish a little and resume? Everyone who's Spanish can come forward.
I'll give you. Okay, so. Primero le quiero dar las gracias al fiscal general Uthmeier por su liderazgo y por su compromiso continuo de responsabilizar las organizaciones criminales en todo nuestro estado. También quiero agradecer a nuestros socios de las agencias del orden público, a los fiscales y los investigadores y a todos los que participaron en esta investigación. Este caso demuestra lo que podemos lograr cuando trabajamos juntos con una misión común. Estoy orgullosa del trabajo que llevó al desmantelamiento de esta red organizada de robo en tiendas de ataco a negocios en Miami-Dade y toda la Florida y en otros estados. Desde noviembre del 2024, nuestro equipo de crímenes organizados trabajó con nuestros socios para identificar a un grupo responsable de cientos de robos y más de $900,000 en pérdidas. Quiero ser clara, si usted organiza robos en nuestra comunidad, explota a los negocios para obtener ganancias y cree que cruzar condados o estados lo va a proteger, no será así. A través de la colaboración y el trabajo conjunto, los vamos a identificar y los vamos a llevar ante de la justicia. Gracias.
I will say this, my year-and-a-half-year-old at home, he can't say his W's yet, so my wife, for water, she taught him agua, and he's just running around, agua. And so I get him out of the crib every morning. He's got these little peanut butter bars he loves. I'm allergic to peanut butter, so my wife immediately started feeding him peanut butter to make sure, if you give it to him right away, they're not as likely to develop the allergy. So every morning he gets up and he's like, peanut butter bar agua, peanut butter bar agua. So anyway, that's right. All right, thanks everybody, appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed you.
You mentioned that 7 suspects have been arrested. Are you guys releasing any of the names of the suspects?
Can I say the names? Are we allowed to
Yes,
say?
they've all been booked.
Okay, all right, let's see if I got the names here. I believe the names are John Kevin Romero, Albert Mario Socorro Alvarez, Jose Carlos Perez Salgado, Antonio Perez Torres, Jose Rego Romero, and Nichelle Alvarez Jerez, and Lisette de Armas Rodriguez. Okay, thanks, everybody. Have a good one.